they can fly when they're roughly 45, 50 days old. So they go from an egg in about 55, 60 days to a bird that can fly, which is pretty remarkable. The egg, it might be the size of his head, it's rather small. He's a male, and Reno weighs 820 grams today. We weigh him every day, and we weigh their food every day, and they basically work for food, and so we measure how much they're going to fly, how much they're going to burn in calories, and then how much food we need to give them so that we can manage their weight and also make them happy. They basically work with us because it's easier than leaving us. We make it easy for them to get food from us. So what we're actually doing with these birds are we're training these birds to chase starlings and harass starlings. And when they do that, we reward them with some food. And so we actually start employing their eyesight and what they do well to go find starlings in order for me to pull some food out of the bag. So a lot of times we may be sitting for 10 or 20 minutes and we're waiting for starlings to come in, or he's waiting to see starlings. Then he'll see them and he'll chase them, and then he'll let off them, then he'll come back and we'll give him some food. And we're not, our goal is not to kill starlings. You couldn't possibly kill enough starlings to have an impact on the birds. And once the falcon has killed a starling, then the rest of the starlings say, great, the predator has eaten, let's go feed on the berries. So it actually doesn't work well for trying to keep birds out of an area for many hours during the day for many days on end. And we're doing this field, and at the same time we're doing another field that's a mile away. And we fly the birds back and forth between the fields, and they follow us on the ATV. And it allows us to cover a large area. So, and we end up flying the birds anywhere from 8 to 15 hours a day, depending on how many starlings are trying to come in. So our goal is every group of starlings that want to come into this place to feed, we have to meet them there before they get here, show them the falcon, have the falcon chase them, and then probably repeat that again 2 or 3 times with that group of starlings to where they go, man, this place has a lot of predatory presence, we're going to go somewhere else where there's not so much pressure on us. So we keep repeating that, keep repeating that, keep repeating that with every group that's trying to come in. So ideally the program starts before the birds. The starlings have come to the place to form a habit of eating here and a desire to like the berries. And some years it's hard to predict exactly when the birds are going to come and the fruit's going to get ripe, and so we try to get it as close as we can, and that's basically what we're doing. Today, when I let this bird fly, he's a pretty shy bird, so I'm going to move away from the crowd and let him fly, and he'll probably take off for a second and then go land. And then we'll wait a minute, or maybe even 5 or 6 to 10 minutes, and then he'll take off and he'll fly and he'll get up really high. And the reason they do that is before these falcons fly high in the sky, they want to make sure there's not something above them that can kill them or harm them, like an eagle, or even just another large falcon in the sky. So with the birds, you got to be real patient, and things take a lot of time with them. And so you're kind of on falcon time, and you gotta wait for them to do what you want, and then you're there to reward them the second they do it. And over the course of time, you can kind of develop a pattern with them, and where they start working with you pretty proficiently, and they catch on really quickly. They're extremely intelligent, and so are the starlings, and that's the reason it works. The program we do, because they can remember for a handful of days what we've done to them, and that it was scary, and we're going to go somewhere else. So it doesn't work really well on robins or sparrows because they really don't have any brain capacity to remember that. And they're very good at hiding in the bush. If they see a falcon coming or another bird of prey, they simply just hide. As where a starling generally wants to get up and fly above the falcons or fly above the danger. And then once they're above them, the starlings try to get out of the falcon's airspace. So it's a very good match for the two, the falcon and the starling. So if you guys want, I can answer any questions if you guys have some questions.
How long does it take to train a falcon?
There's different kind of levels of training. I would say you can have a bird flying and coming back to you and doing some basic stuff rather quickly, a couple weeks or a month, depending on what the bird is like when you get the bird, and how willing they are to work and stuff. I like 2 or 3 years, 2 or 3 seasons on a bird, and then the bird really gets a pattern. And some birds learn very quickly, and other birds are just slower. So it really depends.
How long does it take for you to bond with the bird in order to train them?
They bond you with a food association, and it depends on when you get the bird. If they're young, when you get them, then they will bond you like you're the parent because you're feeding them, and they imprint on you. If you get them when they're past those impressionable weeks, then it's a different association. It's a food association. So it depends. Yeah, it depends. But when I'll train birds, and then I will have other people fly my birds. That usually takes, I think, around 2 months of flying, 5-6 days a week for an hour to 3 hours a day for the falcon to really adjust to the new handler. And even after that, they're not attached in the sense that they want affection. They're just they're comfortable within their space.
Is that the same breed of falcon that nests on the bridges in Portland?
Half of it is. The peregrine part, yes. And the other part of this falcon's a falcon, which is...
I've heard of them.
Yeah, native to the north.
Where did you get the falcons, and how many do you have?
We've got 13 right now, and I buy them from captive bred. I buy them from people in the U.S. that breed them and have a license to breed them. Yeah.
What got you interested in doing this?
I've been doing it for fun since I was 14 years old, and then I started doing it as a business 9 years ago.
What's the range of the transmitter?
They say 100 miles line of sight. I would say more like 50.
What frequency?
What frequency? 216 and 218?
That's all that's electronics. It's just a transmitter, right?
Yeah, so we have 2 transmitters on the birds, one on each leg, and they're pretty good. We had a bird stray the other day, and he strayed, I think it was about 35 miles, and we were able to get a signal. The bird was up 5,000 feet, extremely high, so the signal could travel very easily.
Do you do other crops besides blueberries then? Or?
Yeah, we do wine grapes after this in
Yeah.
California.
So you go to California?
Are starlings the only birds that the falcon is trained to chase off? I noticed lots of swallows and others around the fields here today, but the bird knows that the starling's the only one they're trying to chase?
Yeah, exactly. It's not to say if there's something that would be, wounded or small that got up in front of it, that it wouldn't take, try to take the opportunity. But yeah, and we don't feed them or reward them or give them a blow the whistle when they're chasing something else.
Right.
So they learn, and when they first off, when they're young, they chase everything.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what they can and can't catch. But yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Okay, so why don't I'll jump on the ATV, and I'm just going to go out a couple rows just to give some space between the crowd and the falcon, and then I'll release them and we'll watch them, and I'll just kind of buzz around, and because I got to keep moving with the falcon. They like it when I move, and so I'll keep buzzing around if you keep an eye on me and keep an eye on the bird when it gets high in the sky. And for what I'm going to do for you guys, so you can see the bird up close, because what I do is typically pretty far ranging back and forth. So what I'm going to do, just to demonstrate the bird flying around so you can see him and he stays close for a little while, I'll end up twirling my glove and he'll come over and I'll end up throwing him some food in the air, just so you can see his kind of maneuverability and keep him close. So, because most of the time we're doing something here and then we're driving a mile over there and he's following us, and we're doing something there and we're coming back, and so it's hard to demonstrate that.
How much food does he get a day? How many grams?
We feed this guy, he's going to get about 145 to 160 grams of food.
What is
he
that?
weighs 820 grams.
I see it. Wow.
So anywhere from 10 to 25% of the body weight.
Do you ever pair up with another falcon around in the same field or anything like that, or just do one?
I just do one at a time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's you want to watch the bird, and in the second they do what you want to be there to blow the whistle and condition them and train them right then. If you have 2, they're going separate directions. It could be, somebody's gonna not be seen. So.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.